bit where Janet goes to the town hall.
That's right.
Well, you need to see cleansing them.
I've already phoned them up and the money ran out before I could get anywhere.
Well, you get a lot further if you go down there and see somebody.
Where is it then?
Go out of the building, turn left up to Graham Road. Get yourself a 22 bus, which goes up through Dalston into Kingsland Road. Get off by the HACKNEY Gazette. And it's just on the other side of the road, number 287.
I'm having a really nice time. They sent me back here to see somebody that's in charge of the railway banks.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, didn't you see British Rail about that?
Look, one bit is owned by British Rail and the bit up the end is owned by Parks and Leisure's department.
Leisure? Now that's at Shoreditch Town Hall. This is Hackney Town Hall. Go over the road, get yourself a 55 bus up to Shoreditch, and you'll find Shoreditch Town Hall is the big white building right opposite the magistrates.
Are you having me on?
This government has been very concerned that industry should not be stifled by endless red tape. Similarly, we look to local authorities to improve their efficiency. Many local government bureaucracies have built up like sediment over the years, and it's essential that we squeeze this inefficiency out of the system.
Hello Nancy, how are you?
Fine, Jane, how are you? I'm ringing really to ask you if you'll come up for our Sandra's wedding and stop here the weekend with we.
Oh, that sounds great. I'll have to check that Tom's not working that Sunday though, OK? I've had a bloody awful day today.
Why, what's the matter with you?
Well, you know everybody's always complaining about the rubbish round here. So I thought, whilst I'm up at the town hall seeing about my rents rebate, I'd go and complain about the mess. When I get down, I've never been in a place like it. It's like these long corridors, all smelling to polish. All those from the neck. Piles of paper, they just push you from pillar to post. I end up going from one department to another and they're all spread all over Hackney. Why do they make things so difficult for people?
We ain't got that trouble up here now in Walsall. We've got all new neighbourhood offices. It's great really, you just go in there, you report your repairs and anything in general you want to do.
That sounds more like it. No time to keep chatting though. I'll phone you up at the weekend, OK?
Cheerio. It looks grim down there, don't it?
Right, Mrs. Beckett, what can I do for you?
I want to report my gas fire,
Gas
please.
fire. What's the matter with it?
It's got to have a recheck. I've been in the house 16 months.
OK, well, I'll just make a note of this. We'll get the contractors out to come and have a look at it. They're usually quite good, actually, William Press. They'll come out within a few days and see if there's anything wrong with it. It's 31 Kent Street, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Right, we'll telephone that straight away.
And while I'm here, I want you to have a look if I'm entitled to a rent and rebate.
Right, well, we can soon take that up on the computer. Just could you tell me what your weekly income is?
£78.80.
£78.80, fine. And you got...
Just one David.
Just got David at home, haven't you? But
yeah.
he's left school, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before you go, we've got these printed out at last, the latest edition of the newsletter. I wondered if you'd perhaps distribute them around your street at least,
yeah.
OK, like you did last time.
Yeah.
There's an interesting article in about the new community facilities in the area. We've waited a long time for them, haven't we? And then there's also an article about the new landscaping scheme that's going to start over here as well.
OK, then I'll do, and I'll leave some in the shops for you.
Thanks a lot.
Right then, Steve, I'll see you again. Ta-ra. Ta-ra.
So that's two different sorts of council. Let's see what happens when a group in Hackney tries to get something done.
It's good to see the council at last, isn't it? We've a lot to do, you know. Anyway, how can I help you with what you're trying to do?
Well, to come to the point, we think it's about time the council gave us a community centre.
Yes, we've been doing a lot here, and I think we've proved that we're prepared to do a lot to make this area into something decent.
We can't keep meeting in these damp, freezing church halls if we want to get everyone together.
We can't keep squeezing up in someone's front room like this. We've got to have a place of our own.
Sure. Some little place on Duffdale Road.
Which empty house is this?
Number 94.
94. Are you sure it belongs to the council?
Yes, we've been on to the planning department and they say it does.
Any idea how long it's been empty?
Well, I've been in the area 6 years and it's at least since then. The council compulsory purchased it then, it's just been lying idle ever since.
Of course, you realise it's quite possible the council's got plans for it.
Yes, plans the planning department haven't heard about yet.
All them empty places, it looks run down. I mean, it never used to be like that.
Fair enough. I'll look into it and find out what's happening to it, if anything. There'll have to be checks on its structure to make sure it's sound. Anyway, it may not be suitable for what you want. Have you looked at other places in the area?
Well, we sort of set our heart on this one. I should tell you I represent the old people, and I would like it for a lunch club for them. It's a nice kitchen, and it's handy they could use themselves. It's a well-lit area, and the bus stop is handy for them to get there and back.
Well, I represent the Mothers and Toddlers group, and the premises I've got now is far too small because I've got a lot more children coming, and this place that they're all about should be quite good. It's a lot bigger and it's got a lot more space.
I tell you definitely, I'm going to support your project. We need people like you doing things to improve the area. I'll get on to the housing and planning departments this week.
So you'll be able to come to the meeting next week then and tell us what you found out?
Oh, I'm a very busy man.
What about next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday? There's a council meeting next Wednesday.
Well, how about before that meeting?
Well, I should think I'll be snowed under with all the committee papers. They usually load us up the day before.
Look, give me a ring tomorrow and tell me what day next week you can manage to come, and I'll let other people know. Right? If I'm not there, just leave a message.
And if you don't come, I'll set my pensions on to that'll get you moving.
Well, we don't need to come to that then. Anyway, I'm going to do my best for you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
These things take time to become operational. It'll certainly help us to encourage these groups to plug into the council machinery. And that reminds me, we must deal with that query from Councillor Blundell.
Oh, is that the one about the community group that wants a property in Dovedale Road?
Yes, it's number 94. Actually, all I'm interested in is whether they got the £20,000.
Is that how much it's worth?
It's a prime site, you know, Steve. That's what the market value of the rent is when you take rates into account as well.
How does it qualify as a prime site?
Or any site in Hackney that's on a bus route and near the shops qualifies as a prime site?
Well, I expect that what this group is after is a budget.
And the rest.
What makes them think they can get a budget when we can't even get it into a programme?
Look, who's in charge, them or us? I think we have to ask, are these people responsible or not? How do we know that they're going to maintain it to our required standards?
We're not considering handing over over decision making, you know. I mean, the officers are responsible for the implementation of council policy, and that's the way it's going to stay. However, if we can harness a few local initiatives to help us, so much the better. I think we need to ask the finance department to consider the matter and report to us.
Didn't it used to be the Boy Scouts Hall?
I've no idea what it used to be. What I do know is that it's still a prime site.
Where exactly is it?
Somewhere in Rundle's ward. Look, what annoys me is that, these councillors now getting involved in all these community groups. It's actually stopping them do the job that they were elected to do, which is to overlook and take the important decisions that councils are having to take at the present time. What it means is that they're going to be increasingly dependent upon us to take those sorts of decisions.
Well, that's what we get paid for. Come on.
Well, that group didn't seem to have much luck. Suppose the decisions weren't all made in the town hall, and suppose the council changed the way it works. Could it be like this?
Hi, Janet. Have you heard about the meeting we're having down the neighbourhood office next week?
But meetings are so boring. Talk. That's all you ever do.
Oh, we're having a party afterwards. Anyway, it's really important. We need that land down on Casterton Road for sheltered accommodation for the elderly. If Smart Deal Company get hold of it, we'll never get it for a sheltered block. Hello.
Hello, then. There's the meeting Thursday.
That's right. I'm trying to persuade Janet here to come along. Things have changed a bit, you know, and we've got to make ourselves heard.
What happened last time we made ourselves heard? Where'd it get us? Down the town hall and...
Well, at least the council's more open now. You don't have to go through all that red tape.
Anyway, have a leaflet, and I hope we'll see you next week.
See you down the office, then.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hello, Miss. How are you? Hey, look, we've got a bit of a problem here. We need to know who pays the rates on 14 and 24 Downsbury Road. Can you check and give me a ring back?
How's it going, then?
Well, it should be a big meeting. Got another lot to do after this.
That's because everyone thinks it's important. There's a lot of respect for the Housing Association, and we do need sheltered housing for the elderly.
Now, the cuts the SDP are making, there isn't much to be optimistic about.
There's no point just grumbling about it. If Smart Deal build these flats, they're going to cost $30,000 to go. Whatever happened to the idea of good council housing?
Bloody machine's inking up again.
I adjusted a bit there, then. Some of the officers at the town hall see the flats as inevitable. So it'll bring people with more money into the borough, make Hackney a better place.
Who's it going to be better for if you haven't got a place to live in?
We've got the repairs list for Hawkesbury Estate. We're going there this afternoon.
Yes, but it looks like a day's work.
You know about my seat. Can you come up and do that?
All in good time, Doris. You only put in for it yesterday. I know things have improved, but we can't work miracles. We'll be up next week, all right?
Yes, Doris, take your turn. Your state's next Tuesday.
Oh, all right then.
You finding it takes long to get your repairs done,
Oh, no,
Doris?
it's much quicker.
Sorry to bother you. Look, we've got a problem with 14 and 24 Downsbury Road. Central Rates has just run through, and they said it's owned by a company in the city called Morgan's & Co. Not only is the ceiling in number 14 starting to fall down, but the rest of the tenants are being harassed. They want to be, they want to get them out. What are we going to do?
Well, we'll go in then, do the repairs and send the bill to Morgan's.
Okay, and if we send the harassment officer in as well to have a chat with them, maybe that will help the situation for them.
That's more empty houses for those that can afford them.
Yeah, using pretty dirty methods too.
Must be plenty of houses round here for our local people.
And no cash to do them up.
We've organised people now jobs around here, give them the money, and we let them get on with it.
Yes, but it's not that simple. We have to get permission from the Department of the Environment before we can do anything.
Not again. I've heard it all before. Permission for this and permission for that.
What is this decentralisation? If they give us the money to plant trees, what do? Build nests in them?
Well, hang on, we've made quite a lot of changes, considering we only started a year ago. We can't do everything at once.
Yes, I think we've done a lot, but I don't know how we can go on working so hard. I hardly see the kids now. Yeah, I know the feeling. I mean, my job's not my life. You need a breathing space sometime. Yeah. Which reminds me, is there anyone who wants to go on the course for women in unions? Yeah, when is it? 3 weeks' time. I'll send you a form, shall I? Yeah,
Come on, you lot. We've got these leaflets to get out. I've got the list of all the streets.
Let's hear what going local means to different people.
So the council's really changing, is it? We're getting to get these new council offices for the neighbourhood. We had a lot of trouble trying to get our community that we was after. I'd like to ask you a few questions as well. I mean, you with your fancy suit and your big salary that you're getting. I mean, we can't even have decent streets to walk in, clean streets, and there's a lot of holes that doesn't get mended or anything. I mean, it's not that difficult to get them done, is it, really?
Look, my dear, you obviously just don't understand the complexities of an organisation of our size. I mean, you really must start trying to look at it from our point of view. And anyway, it's not my department that deals with such things.
We have to fight this government trying to undermine us and cut back our rate support grant. The fight's really against them, although I will admit there are some inefficiencies.
Yes, that's true. We've got the partnership programme. It doesn't go any way to restore the economic base in the borough, but it is an incentive for people to get organised around.
That's peanuts. It's just to keep a lot of active people running around from dawn to dusk.
Well, that's too cynical. But new ideas do come from down here, from the local people. We know what the local area needs.
Yes, that's what decentralisation's got to be about, asking us.
Of course, some council services could be administered more efficiently, and local offices might well help. That is why we have moved towards 6 area local housing teams, and of course social services are organised on an area basis. But professional decisions must continue to be taken by those trained and qualified to do so. The problem with many local people is that they do not understand the complex nature of the issues involved in decision making. They tend to see things from just one point of view, whereas we have to take into account the borough-wide considerations. The staffing implications, for example, have to be considered. If change is to be made, it has to be done slowly, and it has to be well thought out if it is to succeed.
The present way of doing things will never allow people to get organised and do the things that need to be done. We've been talking to the council for years and they've never taken any notice of us. The minute they've got something they want to say to us, they call us apathetic if we don't turn out in droves to listen to them. Everything has to be on their terms. We fight for years with them. And then when they realise that we've got people with us, they give us a seat on a committee. We don't want to spend our life in meetings. We want action. We pay for the council services. And yet when we want a nursery place or a home help, they say they can't afford it. That's what decentralisation should be doing. Giving us people to do the jobs that need to be done and getting rid of the ones who want to control and manage us from the town hall.
So she's going to come out and say, oh, 16.